Welcome to this second video where we're showing you examples of how to connect the TextStar screen from TextStar Technologies to Picaxe chips. And this time we're going to be looking at how to connect a variable resistor or potentiometer to a Picaxe in order to obtain a reading, and then we're going to display that on the screen. Now, if you don't know what a potentiometer looks like inside, I've got one here as an example, and you can see that we have three terminals, and nearly all of them are configured like this. You have a terminal here that's connected to a track, a carbon track that goes around like that to a second terminal here, and then a middle terminal, and that's connected to a wiper which goes round and touches this at some point along the track there. In fact, we can have a look at that here. You can see that we have a little gadget inside with a connector that is pushing out and connecting to the carbon track. Now what this means is that if you connect your plus 5 volt line on a normal circuit to one of these connectors, 0 volts to the other, you can see that if the wiper is near the 0 volt line, then the potential, the voltage at this terminal, the wiper terminal, is going to be about 0 volts, and then it's going to gradually go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 around here. So in other words, you can vary the voltage, and of course you've used these on all sorts of gadgets like radios and what have you. It's a very useful way of providing a variable input. Now, potentiometers come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. As you can see, not only rotary ones like this, but also sexy looking slider ones like this. But they all do exactly the same thing. They're just sliding along a carbon track and giving you a value between 0 and whatever your potential is at the other end. What I've done here is I've taken a little potentiometer and I've wired it up to a servo interconnect lead. I'm quite a fan of these. You don't have to use these, but it's quite a useful way of doing it. And I've wired it up in such a way that the negative wire goes to one side of the potentiometer, the positive wire goes to the other side, and the center terminal, the wiper terminal, is connected to the signal wire. So that's our potentiometer. Now let's have a little look at the circuit, and this is shown on the TextStar Technologies website if you want to see it, and the Picaxe section. This is similar to the first example, the way the Picaxe is wired up. I've made a few modifications just to allow us to connect the potentiometer, but essentially it's the same with the 4K resistor here, pulling the reset line high, and we've got power going to the Picaxe. We've also got the TextStar wired up so that we have plus and minus going to the plus and minus on the battery, and the signal wire going to IO port number 4. And on for the potentiometer, this little white wire is going to connect the potentiometer up to input 0, which is also ADC 0, and ADC stands for analog to digital converter, and that's what's going to turn our potential between 0 and 5 volts, or in fact 0 and 4.8 volts, because it's a 4.8 volt battery, into a number between 0 and 1023, and you'll see in the code how we've dealt with that. So now what I'm going to do is plug the potentiometer into the circuit, and then I'm going to switch it on by connecting the power, and we should be able to see that I'll just try focusing this a little bit better. It should be able to see now that if I vary the position of the potentiometer, we are getting a different number. Now the number being displayed on the screen is the variable W0, and that's what we're reading the potential, the voltage, into. We're reading it into that variable with the command read ADC10 and from 0, port number 0 to the variable W0. Then we do a little bit of maths, as you'll see from the code, to convert the number, which varies between 0 and 1023, to a number between 0 and 100, so that we have a percentage we can feed into the graphing feature, which is one of the very unusual features of this TextStar screen. Okay, that's the end of it. I hope you found that useful.